Keemstar, a name you might be familiar with, or it's a name that you haven't heard at all. Keemstar was extremely popular, had influence, but most importantly was known to be an awful person with extremely bad takes, humor, and controversies. He was quite literally the definition of a man-child. But how did Keemstar gain all of this popularity and influence just to seemingly lose it all? Well, to find that out, that brings us to part 1 of this video, which is Keemstar's early beginnings with Only Use Me Blade. Keemstar, whose real name is Daniel Michael Keem, how unfortunate, was born in Buffalo, New York in 1982, and he was mainly known for being the host of a YouTube channel called Drama Alert that he created in 2014. But this isn't where Keemstar started though, because in order to find that point in time, we have to go back a few years, all the way back to 2009 in fact. Keemstar first appeared on YouTube in 2009 when he uploaded a Halo 3 video recording himself trolling and shit-talking in the online lobby.
Oh, yep. That's a fucking double kill, bitch! What are you doing on the ground? Get up, bitch! They're over here. Oh, they're in trouble. Double kill again, bitch! I'm a bad motherfucker! Get up! Get up!
This particular video that Keemstar made went viral, which would lead to him joining the YouTube group known as the Federation of Asshole Gamers. Wow, what a terrific name. This channel was basically just a group of dudes who would do a bunch of trolling in Halo 3 lobbies and record videos of it and post it on YouTube. Keemstar would keep making videos with them while also streaming, which was also a very uncommon thing to do at the time, because keep in mind, this was all in 2009. So that's kind of how he got his, early start, you could say. But how did he keep gaining more and more viewers? In 2010, Keemstar would get swatted, and this would also get more eyes on him because, streaming wasn't very common at the time, and getting swatted was even more uncommon at the time.
And my YouTube channel is basically us pulling, innocent pranks on online games, just joking around for a good laugh. I think somebody is taking this to the next level.
Keem calls the person who made the false report an attention seeker.
However, this wouldn't be the only thing that would get Keemstar more attention, because in the same year, Keemstar had an argument with a moderator whose name was Alex, and this is what he had to say to this Alex fella.
Yo, everybody type in the chat, Alex is a stupid. Just type in the chat, Alex is a stupid. Fuck him.
Skipping a few years ahead to 2012, Keemstar would create the Bad Kid Show podcast, with the co-host being none other than Only Use Me Blade. I mean, my god, bro, this is a combination straight from hell. I would rather do salvia than sit in a room with these guys for 5 minutes. That is unbearable. One of Keemstar's friends was actually in the process of moving to Buffalo to help him out with the podcast, but the day he moved, the channel got terminated. Now, it's to my understanding that the reason Keemstar would start getting banned off of YouTube was due to backlash from being in the Federation of Asshole Gamers group. This wouldn't stop Keemstar though. Since the Bad Kid Show had got terminated, he decided to create something called the Bad Kid Podcast. I see what he did there. But this channel would also get terminated. A few weeks after this, Keemstar's friend and cameraman had left due to a conflict with Keemstar. Keemstar would try to create another remake of the podcast with a different name, this time naming it the Bad Kid Cast, but it would again get banned due to ban evasion. Keemstar and Only Use Me Blade would call it quits on trying to do the podcast in 2014, and this would also be the year that Keemstar would create the infamous Drama Alert YouTube channel. And although him and Only Use Me Blade stopped making content together, they would remain friends. Although in 2014, Keemstar created the Drama Alert YouTube channel and would become quite successful doing that, Blade's channel growth was coming to a very slow crawl, and he was becoming very desperate for views. So he had the bright idea to start doing drunk streams. Keemstar would back off of Blade even more because of this. I mean, he had a highly successful drama channel and wanted to keep it monetized, and collaborating with Blade would put that at risk. And although he backed off of Blade a little bit, they still remained friends. In 2015, Blade's drunk stream started to become just fucking insane. It had got to the level where Blade was saying tons of slurs and other fucked up things, twerking, and making his partner so mad to the point of them breaking up.
Like, get it together. Stop thinking about that bitch. She used you for money. She used you for money. That's real. I don't use you for money. I don't use you for money or for clout. So
you sound like a right now. You sound like a.
And then Blade would get exposed for kicking a dog and also alleged rape. However, it was only after the alleged rape that Keemstar would come out and say that he had disowned Blade after he found out about the dog incident. And I'm sure you did, Keemstar. So that's just one of Keemstar's controversies, but it's part of what had helped him grow in the beginning, so I figured it's a good starting point. Him and Only Use Me Blade's relationship, that is. And that brings us to part 2, which is Keemstar's Degenerate controversies. Keemstar has been involved in so many different controversies, and I think you'll begin to understand why people hated him for it by the end of this video. Like I mentioned earlier, Keemstar had got into an argument with a moderator named Alex in 2010, and I'll just go ahead and show you more of that clip.
You fucking stupid bitch! This stupid fucking justice, all fucking righteous fucking Alex is doing this shit! You fucking I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna.
This then became a meme a year later, and eventually in 2016, Keemstar would claim that he had regretted doing this and that he disliked people making memes out of it. I think he only disliked people making memes out of it and apologized for it because he got caught for doing it. I don't think he truly cared. Later on, in early 2016, Keemstar would post a video joking about how he couldn't wait to report on Total Biscuit's death because it was discovered that the content creator Total Biscuit had terminal cancer. Keemstar made this video as a reply to Total Biscuit's quote-unquote rude reply to Keemstar in a tweet or some shit.
Now I want to be like, can't wait to report your death. Like, seriously. What's wrong with you?
It really just goes to show you how fragile Keemstar's ego really is, and Keemstar would later apologize to Total Biscuit for the comments he made, but he had already gained tons of attention and subscribers from it, and sadly, Total Biscuit would pass away 2 years later in 2018, and this whole situation is just kind of fucked, but trust me, it really doesn't end here, because again, in 2016, Keemstar would get into more controversy by falsely accusing a RuneScape Twitch streamer, I think it's pronounced RS Glory and Gold, of being a pedophile, confusing him with an actual sex offender who used RuneScape to lure victims.
Also in the news, now this story is from 2011, but we have an update for you. I'm just going to read the title here. Massachusetts man John Phillips had sex with teen he married in an online game of RuneScape. Now, John was arrested for this, and he recently got out of jail, and the first thing he did was stream RuneScape on Twitch.
RS Glory and Gold would quickly prove these accusations to be false, and it would lead to Keemstar apologizing and even firing one of his editors.
I feel horrible. Horrible is the best word for it. I feel horrible. And earlier today, someone on my news team provided me with a story that I thought was vetted, that I thought was correct. Now, the problem with this is that that's not John. That's a gentleman named Tony. And when we reported this video, a bunch of you went over and harassed this guy. And I immediately uploaded a video to Twitter telling everyone that we got this story wrong and that we've taken the video and that the guy that works for me is no longer working for me.
So he fires his editors instead of taking accountability for his own mistakes because he's embarrassed? I don't know, but it sounds like a thing that Keemstar would do. RS Glory and Gold would forgive Keemstar for this, but the damage had still been done. In that same year, 2016, Keemstar would reach the massive milestone of 1 million subscribers, and it would just keep climbing. But in early 2016, he would get into even more controversy, this time with the YouTuber iDubbbz. If you don't know much about iDubbbz, I've actually made a shorter video about him that you should totally go watch after this video, of course, but it'll help you understand the specific controversy more in depth. Basically, iDubbbz was known for making videos criticizing other creators in a very harsh manner, and oftentimes these creators would suffer greatly if iDubbbz made a video about them. And well, what do you know? iDubbbz made a video about Keemstar in 2016, calling him out for his actions. And Keemstar would fire back at him, and he would actually, come out of this controversy relatively fine, besides maybe losing a few fans.
iDubbbz released a content cop on me. I lost 300 subs in the first hour it was out, and then started gaining again. I had a lot of people come over and dislike my videos, but I didn't lose subscribers. I didn't lose them at all.
If we skip a few years ahead to 2019, it gets even worse. In early 2019, Jake Paul would accuse Keemstar of body shaming his then girlfriend at the time, because Keemstar had made a tweet comparing her body to Eugenia Cooney, who is a YouTuber with an eating disorder. In 2021, as a response to Paul facing sexual assault allegations, Keemstar would again go onto Twitter to say some degenerate shit, because he would say that there's no way to sexually assault someone orally, as the victim has to quote-unquote choose to open their mouth. And also saying, is there really no way to get away at all? I really just don't believe this story at all.
How does that happen? I like, what? Wouldn't she have to open her mouth and like participate in some way for that to happen? Like, can't you just turn your head, or can't you just get like? Is there some way to force oral sex? Can't you get away? Is there really no way to get away? Is there really no way to just? I'm sorry, but I just don't believe this story at all. Am I missing something here?
So yeah, that's some pretty fucking crazy shit. It just goes to show you even more of his character and why people hate him so much. However, it again doesn't end there, because Keemstar would get into more controversy with beloved creator Etika in 2019. By this time, Keemstar had gained over 5 million subscribers and was covering internet drama almost daily through the Drama Alert YouTube channel. One of the things that Keemstar would post on this channel was interviews with popular content creators who were usually involved in some sort of drama or controversy, whatever you want to call it. In April of 2019, Keemstar would post an interview with the creator Etika, who was showing scary and unstable behavior a few weeks leading up to the interview. Etika was making statements that seemed to center around the topic of death, and he would even kind of refer to himself as the Antichrist. Keemstar would ask him if these things that he was saying were for publicity or not, but Etika claimed it was not, and said that life was like a video game and that death means nothing. In response to this, Keemstar said to someone who was obviously struggling with mental illness problems and is obviously going through mental breakdowns, Keemstar said, "Then why live? Just jump off of a cliff. If it's just a simulation, then who cares?"
You've lived by sin your entire fucking existence, and then you surprise when the Antichrist comes knocking? Keemstar, there are no coincidences in life. Think about that statement. There are no coincidences in my world.
Because
everything happens for a reason.
Because it's all planned. It's all been pre-designed.
It's all predestined, Keemstar.
But
everything you've done up until this point.
But the scariest thing about thinking that the world is a simulation and it's predestined and all that is then there's no reason to live. Then why live? Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares?
And tragically, 2 months after Keemstar said that, Etika would upload a suicide note in a video that he titled, "I'm sorry," and Keemstar was one of the people that Etika had mentioned in this video, and he even said this about him.
Keemstar, I wish you the best, my nigga.
4 days after this video was uploaded, Etika's body was sadly found in a river, and it was confirmed that he had committed suicide. Keemstar would of course face extremely severe backlash due to this, not only because he seemed to be exploiting Etika, who was clearly suffering with severe and several mental health issues, but also because he was seemingly encouraging Etika's actions. In 2020, the YouTuber Ethan Klein from H3H3 Productions made an exposal video on Keemstar, with one of the claims being that Keemstar knowingly exploited Etika during his mental health crisis, and because of this, G Fuel terminated their sponsorship with Keemstar, which took a massive hit to his paycheck. After this, Keemstar's downfall would slowly but surely happen over the next few years, and that leads us on to part 3, which is Keemstar's deserved downfall. In the year 2021, a few years after most of his major controversies, Keemstar would announce that he would quit being the host for Drama Alert when he turns 40. And to this day, the channel remains kind of dormant, and it's sort of a piece in YouTube history. I'm actually surprised that Keemstar's channel never got deleted, considering all of his past actions of falsely accusing people of being pedophiles and using mentally ill people to his advantage, and so on. You probably understand by now why so many people, including myself, absolutely hate Keemstar. All Keemstar has ever known on YouTube is drama, and it's how he got viral in the first place, with it all starting with his Halo 3 video. So after he quit doing Drama Alert, his viewership took a massive hit because nobody ever actually cared about Keemstar himself, but rather the drama that he was involved in. After he quit Drama Alert, he started doing something called LolCow Live, which is, you guessed it, yet another podcast featuring multiple different creators, most notably Boogie2988. Keemstar doesn't get many views on this channel, and it's sort of died out, but it has managed to let Keemstar keep making content for a living, and it's managed to let him keep somewhat of a platform. And I think it's safe to say that Keemstar's peak is something he will never get back to ever again. And I also think it's safe to say that Keemstar doesn't deserve any platform at all. Keemstar is one of the only creators on this platform that I genuinely hate.